Hiya, folks. You folks are in for a treat of your life today. This video is going to be the one you love the most out of any video I ever made. I know you love them, and I know you love the shit out of them. So, this is going to solve all your This is going to solve all your mysteries for you. Yeah. So, because things are only a mystery until inspected enough, until they're not a mystery anymore. Just like the atomic structure, you know, blah blah blah. So, the title of this video is "The Aliens and the Amanita Muscaria." So, Amanita Muscaria is the now if you look real closely, they used to call the Amanita Muscaria the magic mushroom, but now they don't anymore. They call the psilocybin the magic mushroom, and they changed that shit they started changing it about 6-7 years ago. Yeah, it was wiped out on the internet that the magic mushroom was the Amanita, and they started saying it was a psilocybin. Okay. There's a reason for that. So, and it has to do with the fact that the Amanita is being defeated. Okay. So people, you know, you hear all these people, Alex Jones, David Icke, you know, really good scholars and shit, you know, smart motherfuckers and shit. They, you know, according to the Matrix, they take it overboard, but they really don't take it overboard. They're just taking where the evidence takes, and they don't edit it or filter it. They just go where it goes. You know what I'm saying? So, are they right about, you know, everything? Both of them are pretty much right about, yeah, pretty much, offload it, whatever they're saying. But you know, but they censor those people and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. But the aliens that everybody complains about, the alien invaders, the aliens, the extraterrestrials, blah blah blah, are hidden in plain sight. The alien invaders are the Amanita Muscaria. And the Amanita Muscaria is female. Yeah. So the Amanita Muscaria is a predator, not predatory. It's a predator. Okay. It basically it comes from outer space. It comes from outer space. Yeah. It's spores, fungi that travel through outer space and invade other planets. And now, when it lands on a Zapotec planet, it soon realizes it made a mistake. Okay. The arrogance of it is that it believes that, you know, it's so prescient, it's so, you know, because it's fucking amazing. Okay. You've ever seen one? You know, they just look incredible. You know, you got those spots on them. They got the white stem. They got that cool shape. You know, shaped like a woman, shaped like the Venus of Willendorf, shaped like the Venus of Willendorf. And they are incredible. They're unbelievable. I mean, there's no way explaining to you how dynamic the Amanita Muscaria is as a predator. And if it lands on a planet that's not Zapotec, it's going to win every time. It's going to take that planet over, no matter what. Now, on our planet, you see the example of, you could call it metaphorical example of how the Amanita took over, or how the Amanita acted when it invaded the planet, invaded the Earth. That movie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, is a, you know, millions and millions of year old story about the Amanita. Okay. How it invaded the planet. Alright, so it's just, if you watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you'll see that exactly how it operates. And that's all legitimate. However, you don't take over Zapotec planet. Nobody takes over Zapotec planet. Nothing takes over a Zapotec planet. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to occur. It's just not going to happen. So, this is the Zapotec planet. You know, I mean, you need challenges. You know, you need stuff to keep you sharp. You need stuff that, you know, to challenge your faculties, you know, and, you know, keep you dynamic, you know, whatever. And so the Amanita land on the earth, you know, and they create that challenge. Okay. It got here on this planet. The last time it got here, at right at about 240, about 242,000 BCE or so. Well, yeah, about 242,000 BCE is when it got here, the last time. Okay. And it just devastated shit, you know. Since it's feminine, and the universe is feminine, or female, then what it does is when it lands on a planet that's imbalanced, it's imbalanced with its animus and its anima. So Carl Jung's animus and anima. It's male and feminine aspects. When it lands on a planet that's imbalanced with that, it will create an imbalance automatically on the people that aren't developed enough to understand what's going on and that aren't, you know, to that point to where they're, you know, they're impervious. It actually can't predator everyone. What it can do is it can predator the people around you. Then they can surround, and then you're surrounded by them. You know, like that movie Inception. So it's another metaphor, but it's also, you know, true. So the Amanita. I'm gonna read this to you. Okay. It's about a Toltec. Okay. All right. So it goes. We have a predator that came from the depths of the cosmos, and it took over the rule of our lives. Human beings are its prisoners. The predator is our Lord and Master. So say, see, Lord and Master, even though it's a female, isn't that just like a woman? To blame them in? It ain't me. It's them. And what's always her ultimate excuse for being fucking nuts? You know, when she's doing shit like that. She'll default to the patriarchy. And that's the reason why I'm nuts. That's a 100% completely legitimate complaint and assessment of it. Because women are born into a system that's completely antithetical to what they are. So that's, and so when you see them, you know, acting crazy and saying they crazy because, you know, the patriarchy, that's rhetorical because it's completely accurate. So, so the predator has rendered us docile, helpless. If we want to protest, it suppresses our protest. If we want to act independently, it demands that we don't do so. I have been beating around the bush with you, you know, all this time, insinuating that to you that something is holding us prisoner. Indeed, we are held prisoner. This was an energetic fact for the sorcerers of ancient Mexico. They took us over because we were food for them. And they squeeze us mercilessly because we are their sustenance. Just as we rear chickens in chicken coops, the predators rear us in human coops. So just like a woman again. So the woman makes you think that she's rearing you, she's ruling you from the outside. So you don't realize she's ruling you from the inside. So I mentioned a second ago the Venuses of Willendorf. So look at the Venuses of Willendorf, shaped like the Amanita, isn't it? If you look at the statues of the Ubiat culture and some of the chop moves, Ubiad is U-B-I-A-D. Chocmool is C-H-O-C-M-O-O-L. If you look at some of these figurines from those cultures, you'll see consistent configurations in the figurines. Okay. Similarly shaped. What is that? Now, you know how they always say there's a little guy, a little person inside my head, whatever? That's exactly what the little person inside your head looks like. And where's that person at? Right here. The person's right here. Right here where the pituitary and pineal gland are. Where do Amanitas grow? Amanitas grow next to Christmas trees. Next to pine, they grow next to pine trees. They if you look at a pine cone, and you compare a pine cone to the pineal gland, the pine cone looks just like the pineal gland. So you get the pineal gland and the pituitary gland right here. So the pineal gland is purple in color. If you were a seer, you would see it. You'd see it as violet. You'd see it as purple. The pituitary gland. The pineal gland, however, if you saw it, that's the crown chakra. If you saw it, it's indigo color. So indigo is everything. Okay. So the predator went to the highest levels of our configuration as a physical being and embedded itself into our brain over the pineal and the pituitary gland. That's how it enslaved it. The Venus is a Willendorf. What is Venus? Aphrodite. Who is Aphrodite? Aphrodite is a sexual predator. Mira Sorvino even got an Oscar for playing Aphrodite in Woody Allen's movie Mighty Aphrodite. Okay, but anyway, so we keep going. They took us over because we were food for them, and they squeezed us mercilessly because we are their sustenance. They just as we rear chickens in chicken coops, the predators rear us in human coops. So listen to the linguistics stuff. In human coops. So inside of us. See, you gotta really listen to the linguistics. Now if you listen to Taylor Swift, she's the top linguist on the planet. Just listen to her lyrics. Just study the fuck out that shit. Get a goddamn, get 5 PhDs in listening to her fucking lyrics. And also, you know SS Sniper Wolf is Leah Shalish. Just listen to her talk. Don't think you know what she's saying. Just listen to everything she says. Fuck all that stupid shit that's on the goddamn screen. Listen to her linguistics. And she's telling you the same kind of stuff. She's telling you the same kind of thing. She's telling you what's really going on. It's like Taylor Swift. So, so they rear us mercilessly, therefore the food is always available to them. No, 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 Carlos replied. This is absurd, Don Juan. What you're saying is something monstrous. It simply can't be true. For sorcerers or for average man or anyone. Why not? Don Juan asked calmly. Why not? Because it infuriates you? You haven't heard all the claims yet. I want to appeal to your analytical mind. Think for a moment and tell me how you would explain the contradictions between the intelligence of man, that's the ability to gather information, of man the engineer, and the stupidity of his systems of belief. In other words, measurement, judgment, I'm better than somebody else, fight or flight, animal nature takes over under conditions of dynamic tension. I have to take all the resources and hoard them over here and not give you any because I might run out, even though I have enough to last for 55,000 years, you know. Sorcerers believe that the predators have given us our system of belief, our ideas of good and evil, our social morals. They are the ones who set up our hopes and expectations and dreams of success or failure. They have given us covetousness, greed, cowardice. It is the predators who make us complacent, routinary, and egomaniacal. You know, just like a woman. She's the woman's a predator. A man's not a predator. A man does not choose a woman. The woman chooses him. How does she do that? She wakes up in the morning. She puts on makeup. She gets some lace, puts a lace bra on, puts some sexy panties on. You know, wash the pussy or whatever. Put do her hair. Get some lipstick on, spray herself with some perfume, and just goes out. And she's a predator. She's a predator of attraction. So the Venus is a Willendorf. The Venus flytrap. Yeah. She's attractive. She attracts. She's a predator. Yeah. And that's exactly the way the Amanita operates. The Amanita is there, it's so bright, it's so beautiful. You look at it, and you just have to try it. You do. And you just have an incredible experience. Even a dissociative, out-of-body experiences sometimes. It takes your mind into places that you just can't possibly fathom. That people don't even know, you know, that these worlds exist, that you can travel to by ingesting that Amanita Muscaria, and then it gives you all this power because your cognitive system becomes more enhanced. Now, if you keep taking it and you keep taking it and you keep taking it, what happens is it expands your consciousness, expands your consciousness, expands your consciousness. See, your expands your consciousness, it goes back to where it was. Expands your consciousness, it goes back to where it was. And you keep doing it, it expands your consciousness, expands your consciousness. Expands your consciousness, but it never goes back to where it was. And you become more intelligent than everybody else. But there's a downside. If you're ingesting it at an age that's too young, if your ego's not developed enough to handle the visions that it's going to show you, what it's going to show you is the collective unconscious of mankind, of humans. It's going to show you the collective unconscious. What's the collective unconscious? So you got the DNA, which is the knowledge filter. So we take in information at about 5 million bits per second. Carl Sagan showed that we take in information 5 million bits per second in his book, The Dragons of Eden, Speculations on the Origins of Human Intelligence. And then he explained in that book that we through our entire system, that we can't consciously absorb the fact that we're seeing this much stuff. Like you see your dog or your cat looking around, you can't see the shit they're looking at, you know. Right outside of our range of spectrum of viewing is the ultraviolet realm. And in that realm, there's all kind of shit going on. You remember I told you about these two glands? It's being enhanced by the Amanita. So these two glands, so what happens is Amanita attracts. It's just incredibly attractive predator. So you're going to take it. It has a consciousness too. So you're going to pick it, and then you're going to try it. Then you're going to learn after a little bit. You don't eat it when it's wet. You wait till it dries, or you dry it out. Blah blah. You're going to figure out how to actually eat it, because it didn't kill you. Okay, because a lot of fungi, a lot of mushrooms will kill you, and or just make you sick. So, I mean, it didn't make you sick. You had this unbelievable, incredible experience with it. And as time goes on, you keep on getting these experiences. Your consciousness is doing this, doing this, doing this. And then you become. It's like a woman. It gives you all this energy and this power, this ego, and because a woman carries your ego around in her purse. It's a joke I made up. You remember I made up a long time ago that a woman has she carries dicks around in the bottom of her purse next to the keys and an old firecracker that never got blown up. You know what I'm saying? And she carries her ego around with her. So what the Amanita does. It's like a woman. It gives you all this power. It gives you all this great feeling of strength, great feeling of prowess and dynamics. And just like a woman, once she's got your ego in her purse, carrying your dick around in her purse, and she got you, and she knows, and she knows. That's it. Now, for most women today, that's she's gonna predator you in one of two ways. She's gonna predator you sexually, or she's gonna predator you intellectually and mentally. Okay. If the girl wants to connect with you on a spirit level, she's not predatory. Yeah. Right? So, but how can they do this, Don Juan? Carlos asked, somehow angered further about what Don Juan was saying. Now, there are other planets in our galaxy that are not Zapotec planets. What's a Zapotec planet? The Zapotec planet is a planet ran by Toltecs, Olmecs, and Aztecs. Okay? They're not going to run the shit in your face. Okay? They run the goddamn planet. Okay? And it's cumulatively Zapotec. Cumulatively termed Zapotec. And they're the planets that have the megalithic pyramids and the megalithic temple sites that are erected and created through organic mathematics. Golden mean Fibonacci sequence with specific ratios that produce specific results, so that your temple is a living being. That's basically it. So the Amanita cannot take over our planet, but there's lots of planets that don't have. They're not Zapotec planets. They might have diverse populations, but they're not Zapotec planets. So what winds up happening on a non-Zapotec planet, if the Amanita gets there, is that if that planet has white people, the Amanita will eventually conquer that planet, because it will conquer that planet through the white people. Always. That's how it does. And the reason why is because white people have certain talents that the Amanita is able to exploit. And those talents are they have a highly organized mind pattern, and that mind pattern operates very well together in a synchronized group. In other words, they have like a hive mind, and it works really well. They're highly analytical, highly intelligent, and they categorize everything. They put everything into they give everything a definition. Okay. So those are the talents that white people have, and they go by facts, which is all good stuff. But see, the human mind, the analytical mind, can be led around by useless facts. That's how the Amanita wins. That's how the Amanita always defeats white people. Always defeats them up here. By analysis. You've heard people say, that little voice in my head, I can't shut it up. Well, the little voice in your head is what disconnects you from the spirit. So you hear people say, you watch Oprah, she says, oh, sit here and meditate. That's bullshit. You don't got to meditate. It's all crap. Oprah's a white bitch. Good. All you got to do is to connect to the spirit. And you should do this every day of your life. It's just do 10 breaths. That's it. That's all you got to do. You do 10 breaths where you just listen to the breath. For 10 times. You go. Do that 10 times. Listen to the breath. What that does is that shuts down the internal dialogue. It shuts down the internal voice, the constant internal voice. And it gives the spirit a chance to reconnect to you. Connects to all your chakras if you need it. It runs up the base of the spine. That's true Kundalini. You can do Kundalini in 1 minute. That shit don't take 17 years. Kundalini is just the breath. The Kundalini fire. So, now you hear a lot of women, especially women, or hear men too, but especially women, talking about the spores. And they're real paranoid about the spores. My wife was paranoid about the spores. And, the spores are legitimate. The spores are microscopic versions of the Amanita. Okay? And they're in the air everywhere. Everywhere. And so you hear women, say like, you ever heard a woman say after she got raped, she'll say, I just felt so dirty. I just kept taking a shower. I couldn't get the dirty feeling off of me, That's because the little microscopic particles of the Amanita that are in the air are called archons. You heard this term, archons, archonic, A-R-C-H-O-N-S, archonic. The archons are everywhere. Okay? They're archonic, they're demonic archons. Archons are everywhere. Okay? They're the spores. Derivatives, the microscopic derivatives of the Amanita. And they get on your body. Okay, that's where they live at. They live on you. They live on your skin. They live on your skin or right below the surface of the skin on your skin. That's why sometimes you itch, blah blah blah, whatever. And you remember back in the day when they started doing the chemtrails, everybody, all the conspiracy fuckers were like, the chemtrails they're trying to kill us. The chemtrails and HARP. It's not what they're doing. What it is they discovered that they know it for a long time. It's just national security. It's just the secret shit. They can't tell everybody. The motherfuckers would just, if you knew everything, you would just be like, So, but at the same time, you should know. We'll get to that. We're getting there. They will so like for instance you go see women always trying all these beauty products, always trying to shit for their skin, always trying new shit for their hair, always trying new shit for their pussy, they're always trying to wash, be clean and perfect and pristine, They don't know subconsciously they're trying to get rid of the archons. They're trying to get rid of the microscopic particles of the Amanita that are affecting them. They don't know that though. And so, the woman got raped, right? And she's like, it felt so dirty I couldn't get rid of it. That's because the archons collect at the base of the spine energetically anyway. So small energetic entities that are collected at the base of the spine. You might call them like little bitty lesser demons or something, or the little fuckers that are in the DMT, they collect at the base of the spine of human beings, and they're what cause, they're just little predatory beings that you can't see. They're right in the ultraviolet spectrum, and if you listen to people talk about their DMT experiences, dimethyltryptamine, that's what they're talking about. The little fuckers that collect at the base of the spine. Now you don't want them there. Okay? They're predatory, and they're fucked up. Okay? And they can affect your consciousness in such a way they can even change your ability to ingest information to such a wide degree that you can bend space and time because they're occupying your body. You don't want to have influences like that. If you want to do shit like that, you want to do it yourself. Okay. But anyway, so then, like, so like the way you can get rid of them, ladies, is simple. All you gotta do is there's two things they despise. They fucking hate hot water. That's why if you take a shower or a bath, try to get that water. You know, first you gotta wash your hair first, and you gotta wash it with something medicated. So it's just best to use like Head and Shoulders medicated. Okay, so you use real hot water. Okay, this is the process of getting rid of the archon, not the beauty process. Okay, so you just wash it with Head and Shoulders. Then all the archons are going to start running down to your face. You're going to feel your face start itching. That's why, you know, women got acne and shit. You're going to feel your face start itching. Okay. Then what you do is you scrub it. Make sure you got a loofah or a sponge, and then you wash. Use that Head and Shoulders to wash your face, wash your neck, wash your back, wash your legs, blah blah blah. When you do that, and make sure you let hot water run over run on the side of your face, side of your head and stuff like that, because they'll fuckers will try to run into your ears and shit. Okay. But if you just let the hot water run on like one side of your head real quick for a little while, and the other side of your head for like 4 or 5 seconds, they won't go into they'll skip going into your ear, and then let the water run on your face. They'll skip going into your nose, they'll skip going into your mouth, and they'll run on down your body. So then once you scrub they'll try to run down to your feet, because most people don't wash their feet. So scrub all the way down there, wash your feet, and then put that hot water on your feet. Then that means every single archon that was on your body will run into your pussy. You got them. They're done. Just take a medicated douche, squirt it up there, they're all dead. After that, do a 10 breath. I'm sorry. Then wash your hair with your regular shampoo and conditioner, and then your regular soap, your skin soap, whatever. Then just go through your regular routine. It's going so your shower's going to take twice as long, but the results are you're going to get rid of fucking archons. Okay, archons are predators that are affecting you and making your behavior be less than the highest attainment that you want. Okay, so ladies, so once you get rid of them and you've done your beauty routine, then do 10 breaths. Let's go 10 times. You don't gotta meditate. You don't gotta do no chant. You don't gotta do no visualizing. None of that bullshit. Just listen to the breath for 10 breaths. It takes 20 seconds. You're connected to the spirit. You're free of the archon. Then you can go out there and be Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. So or Hillary Clinton or whoever the fuck you want. See what I'm saying? It's the archons that are fucking with you. Okay. Women they call it the devil or whatever. That's why all women love the devil. You know what I mean? You'd be like, I even have my friends be like, man, why do women love the devil so much? I want to tell them, like, because the archons are in their pussy. But that's why you hear the women say, I felt so dirty, because when all the archons, when she was getting raped, all the archons left the other parts of her body and just rushed down to her pussy, and they all congregated there because they thrive off of chaos, negativity. They thrive off of it. They're attracted to the shit, and that's what happened. And that's the reason why you can go to a lot of different psychological hospitals, and you have women in there that are rape freaks. They're just freaked out over this shit. That's because a lot of times they've been raped or they haven't, but they're very sensitive and susceptible to it, certain things because of their genetic and because of their astrological configuration, and nobody knows this shit, and so they just put them in the insane asylum because I'm happy to have a woman running around rape me and shit, you know what I'm saying? So they're not scared to say it. I mean, they'll be fucking in like dealers or whatever buying some Estee Lauder perfume and shit and standing there talking to the girl at the counter and be like, I really love to get raped. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. So it's complicated. So it's not complicated, but I'm just saying that's what'll happen. I've met plenty of women in my life that are rapists. Plenty of them. Those are big. They'll beg you to rape them. So, shit. Even Stuart Swirl, I used to be on Stuart Swirl's site. And I was having an argument one time with these really smart bitches and shit. And we were talking about rapists, and they were trying to call me a rapist, and I was trying to call me a rapist, and I was fucked up, and all this kind of shit, because I was telling them that I know women that like to get raped. Stuart Swerlo, he watched that fucking shit for about a day. He came on there the next day, and he was like, I know 100% for sure what Henry's saying is true. I could show you my goddamn inbox right here on my motherfucking computer. I could show you 100 emails from women asking me to rape them that I know for sure are 100% a real person. And you remember back in the day when I used to make all those videos talking about the rape program back in like 2006 and 2007 and shit. And then I had like after I made those videos, I had like all these hundreds of women from around the world that would start trying to be my friend and shit. I would be like, and all these, especially all these little young girls, like Dutch girls and the girls in the Netherlands and Germany and the provinces of Spain, they would always be young girls. I wasn't trying to rape them or nothing, but they would watch my videos. I wasn't telling people to rape people and shit. But they would watch my videos and my explanation of things, and they would be like, I've never seen anybody explain it like that, but you're absolutely correct. And they would always be the smartest girls. They'd be like the Mensas and shit, and beautiful little Mensas that were also real good, in some kind of art and shit, And even my friend Ivana Vanderveen, her and me been friends since she was 12. And and I remember those videos I used to make. I didn't really want her watching them and shit, but she would she would talk to me all the time, and then I even told her to get lost, like a couple of times, and she was like, no. I'm never getting lost. We're never not going to be friends. But whatever. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. She dropped dead gorgeous. She's 20. She's 27 now. Or 23 or 4 or 5. 20. She's at least 25. She's unbelievably beautiful. Ivana Ramona Vanderveen. But she grew up in the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, they take the Amanita at a young age. So let's say you know a girl that grew up around a lot of pine trees. I guarantee you, she was taking Amanita when she was young, she was a child. Because they'll watch Alice in Wonderland, and then they'll be out in their yard and they'll see that same mushroom. They'll know it's okay to take it. They'll pick a couple of them, hide them, take them up in their rooms, let them dry, and then one day, they'll take them. See? And it enhances their awareness, big time. But then they need somebody like me when that happens, so that they can understand the logistics of it, the analytical part of it, because they're into the spiritual part of it right now. But the analytical part of it, they need to understand. So actually, now I realize that's why I'm glad I was around, so they can get a hold on what's going on. And what it does, it makes them not crazy, because now they understand that there's a person that can articulate what's going on inside of them. And then that's why they gravitate. That's why they gravitate towards me. Hundreds of them, thousands of them love me. Matter of fact, I even one day I posted. I was like, why don't all these little young girls in love with me around the world? About 6, 7 years ago. And Selena Gomez told me. She said because we can tell you really love us. You know? That makes sense. So if you know a girl that grew up around pine cones, around or anybody, but girls especially, that grew up around pine trees. Like say a girl grew up on a Christmas tree farm. She would have been taking the Amanita all her life. She'd have been smarter than everybody else by the age of 6 or 7. So the matrix would not, the regular matrix she's dealing with would not be adequate to contain her consciousness. Okay. And this is what leads us to why the Amanita is afraid. So this is a Zapotec plant. It's not going to win. Zapotecs don't play that bullshit. Most dynamic life form you ever encountered. So we're going to fix it. So what happened is, now nothing can defeat a Toltec sorcerer. Because Toltec sorcerer is invincible. And even worse is the female Toltec sorcerer. Okay. A male Toltec sorcerer cannot defeat a female Toltec sorcerer. She's not going to kill him. She can't kill him. But she can incapacitate that motherfucker. You remember how in Excalibur, the movie Excalibur, Morgana was able to enslave Merlin for a while? They can do that kind of shit. Okay, so she couldn't kill him, but she enslaved his ass for a while. See. So the moral of the story is that a male Toltec sorcerer is invincible. He cannot defeat a female Toltec sorcerer. She can't kill him, but she can defeat him in a strategy which she'd be incapacitated. And a male Toltec sorcerer could do that to her too for a little while too, because you saw how they were able to do that to Morgana by impromptu making her shapeshift into a crow by metaphorically giving her a certain substance that made her shapeshift. She's doing a dragon's breath. That's metaphorical for what they gave her to make her shapeshift. That's enslavement. This is Merlin getting even with it. So the female Toltec sorcerers, what they'll do is, since they're invincible and can't die, they'll incarnate through regular means. They'll incarnate into a body that's mortal. Okay? They don't, the soul don't die. Everybody else. They'll incarnate to a body that's mortal, and then because this is the planet's female, they'll incarnate into a body that's mortal, and then they will incarnate around whatever malady there is affecting their planet, and then they will transmute whatever that malady is. They're going to do it. They're simply because you can't beat them, you can't defeat them, you can't kill them. So you can't defeat something you can't kill, and you can't defeat something you can't see. And even the Amanita can't see them. Okay. So